And today's video what we are talking about is surface area and volume. So we're just going to kind of introduce those. You might have a good idea what that is, and then um, we're going to get into finding the surface area of a prism using nets. But we're not going to talk about surface area yet. We'll mostly talk about just what nets are and how they are made. Okay, here are your quizzes code, and here's a link to talk more about prisms and nets. They do have cool animations that will show them being folded up together, so might be worth a look for you. Okay, so the surface area and volume are related to 3D objects, right? So think about something with 3 dimensions like a cube, cylinder, sphere maybe. The surface area is the amount of stuff that covers the outside. So think about what is ever containing the inside. The stuff that covers the outside. Okay? The volume is the stuff that fills the solid. Okay? So a good example of this, the surface area of a water balloon is the plastic covering that holds the water in, right? The volume is the water inside of the water balloon, right? Okay? Now let's look at something like a jack-o'-lantern or a pumpkin. What would the surface area be? Well, the surface area is the orange part, right, that you would cut into. The volume would be the seeds and kind of the stringy stuff that you pull out. Okay? So, we move on here. A prism is a enclosed solid that is constructed from rectangles on 4 sides. So do we see the 4 sides right here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Those 4 sides, and then 2 other sides on the end to make it enclosed. Okay? So with any prism, you will have the same shape on this side and then something that makes it look almost like a tube in a way, where it just extends these 2 shapes. Okay? So this would be an example of a prism. When it is this is the example of a prism here, this box. A net is when you unfold that 3D shape into a 2-dimensional kind of drawing where you can fold it. So, kind of like I said, a box like this, that's an example of a prism. Now, when the box is unfolded, that becomes the net. No, I was supposed to say net. Let's fix that here. Net. Okay. So, knowing that, and when we make a net, you just have to think about what is this going to look like unfolded. It's kind of one of those action kind of thought experiments that you need to run, where it's, okay, what does this look like folded up? Well, if I fold the 2 ends in and all together, I'm going to get a rectangle. Okay? Or a rectangular prism in this case. So, kind of just an example here. The air inside of a basketball would be an example of what? So, what is inside this basketball? We're not talking about the leather on the outside. We're talking about the air inside, the volume, because it's what's inside, right? And a final example here. Draw the net of a triangular prism. So this triangular part right here, that should be telling you what's on the end. And the prism, again, is telling you that there are 4, or in this case 3, rectangles connecting each side. So when I made mine, it looks something like this. Now, yours could look a little different. Maybe your triangle's a little differently shaped, but altogether it should look something like this, where you have 2 triangles, 3 rectangles. Okay, and I'll just kind of give you guys a hint. If we've unfolded this, this is what folds together to make the outside, correct? Well, we know how to find the area of a rectangle, 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 and 2 triangles. So that's kind of a hint when we get into surface area. Okay. And otherwise, that is it for today. Again, your quizzes code and the link that I want you guys to take a look at. All right, thank you guys. Have a good Monday, really.